Hello and welcome to this session about SAP Business One 8.8 patch level 12. My name is Benno Eberle and I'm part of the Rollout Services team. In this session, I want to guide you through how to install the integration components for SAP Business One and how to activate the dashboards for using in SAP Business One. So let's first talk about a little bit about the prerequisites before we start with installation. And we have two different types of prerequisites. First one is what we have to do on the client side, and second, what we have to do on the Business One integration components server side. So let's start with the server side. We have the JDK 5.0, and this is a prerequisite we have to download and install on the server side. And on the client side, we have the Adobe Flash Player, at least version 9.0 we have to install before we start with using the dashboards on the client side. With these prerequisites, we can start in principle with installation. For more information about the prerequisites, please check the installation guide you can find on the download package as well. So let's start with the installation. First of all, we have to copy the package or to expand the package we have downloaded on the local hard drive, and it's very important that we have read-write access to this drive. And then we can begin with installation, open technology, and then depending on if you have a 32 or 64-bit system, operating system, choose the right folder here. We have a 32-bit operating system, and therefore I start this setup here in this folder. If you have the 64-bit version, then you need to choose the other one and check the installation guide for more information about what you have to do on a 64-bit system. Then we have a wizard here, go through that wizard. We have to insert name and so on. And here, this is the first very important step, that we have to choose the installation folder where we have installed the Java Development Studio 5.0. And if you have not done that so far, then I will show you in a second how this is going to be. Open the installer you have downloaded from the particular web page for this. You can find the link in the installation guide as well. Make a double click and go through the wizard, and if you are done with this wizard, at the end you have installed the Java Development Kit on your server machine here. And remember the folder you have chosen for this installation, because this is the folder you have to choose in the SAP Business One integration solution setup as well. So let's wait until this is finished. It's finished in a few seconds, and choose next again. And we do not have to include these components into the Microsoft Internet Explorer. So remove this one now, and in a few seconds we are done. So this is not a big deal in principle. And as next step, we go back to our own setup wizard in principle. Just chooses one more second to be ready. And yeah, then we are done in a few seconds. So press finish here, and then go back to our own wizard here, and click the browse button to pick the folder we currently used to install the Java components here, JDK 5.0, and press next here. And then we go forward into the wizard to install the different components. This is some Microsoft runtime libraries which are necessary for our components. And then this is the first really very interesting part, that you have to insert a password for the B1I admin user. So you can choose any password here, and you have to confirm it with the second entering of the password, and notice that password because you need it later for administrating the components. So insert it 2 times, press next, and then the wizard is moving on. Then choose the type of database server you are using and you have installed on your machine. We have installed 2005 version, and then you have to insert your database username and password here and move on with next again. This is necessary to have a connection from the Business One or B1I C components to the Microsoft SQL Server, and to reach the data on the SQL Server here. Then press next, and then we have an action review for this part of the installer. We are fine with this. Then press next again, and now the action, the setup action is starting. Product is being installed and registered on the server side here. And then the event center is started here to be installed. So you see here select a lot of action running automatically, where you not have to do anything. And this is important screen. So here you have to enter the database name, and you can see that the database username is pre-filled here already. You only have to insert the database password. And very important as well here is that here's a username, and the bottom fields here B1I, and this is a user where Business One in principle is connecting to the Business One integration components. So this is really the Business One user B1I you have in your Business One system, and it's important that you insert here the password, which is as well in your Business One user database. So if you insert the password here as well, go to the next step here with the next button. Click, and then these are some temporary dictionaries. You can move on with next as well. Then some more components are installed automatically. You do not have to do anything here. You only have to wait some seconds. So the content is uploaded to the B1 integration components. And the servers are restarted. And now the event center configuration will start in a few seconds. So you can see that the wizard automatically starts the different components to be installed. And here you see the fields are pre-filled as well. The database server name, then the database accounts for running and set up the database, and the passwords. You can check if this is correct and choose next again. Then there are some more configurations. The idle timeout here is fine with 3000 milliseconds. And then this is a very interesting thing as well here. Here you have to insert the B1I admin password you have entered before, a few minutes before. So it's very important that you insert here the same password for the B1I admin as you have used before during installation. And after you insert the password, you can test the connection to the B1 server components, and you can see it's successful, so all the credentials are correct. Go next, and here you can see the different company databases which are assigned to the B1I integration components, and we only want to use it with a demo.de. And then in principle we are finished with setting up the integration components. Event sender set up as well. It takes some seconds to finalize this data we have inserted here, and then setup was successfully. The event center service is being started now, and yeah, we are finished with the install wizard. Installation is done. So what we have to do next is to open Business One, because the next settings we have to do is in Business One. So we log on with the super user account here with manager and the password. So you can see the new cockpit here, and we use a search area on the top of the screen to open the right settings window. So it's settings, general settings, and here we have a new tab, cockpit, and we have used it to enable the cockpit before. Now we enable the dashboard widget, and what we have to do here is now to insert the B1I server address. So where to get the Business One server address, B1I server address. So go to the documentation folder, open the administrator guide, integration component, and then go to the activating dashboard widget section, and there we can see that there is a complex looking string in principle. We can copy it from here, or you can copy it from the PowerPoint from the other session as well, and insert it here to the text field. What we have to do is that we change the server name part here with the real server name. In our case it is VMB1, and then we are done with the general settings principle. We can press update and press OK, and we will get a short notice that these changes is gonna happen after logging on again to this company database. So this is in principle what we have to do on the general settings tab. What we have to do as well is the license administration. So we have seen before that B1I user is being used for the communication with the B1 integration components, and we need some licenses for this as well. And so we open the license administration, click on the B1I user, and we can see that there are some types of licenses. The one is the B1I indirect MSS license. We have to click this one, and we have to use the B1I license as well, and we can see that there is no license available at this point of time, and this is because it's assigned to the manager. Manager don't use it, so go to manager and disable it, and then go back to the B1I user and enable the B1I license here. And then we have the correct licenses assigned to the B1I user. So next step is that we have to log on again to this company database to start the connection to the B1 integration components. And the very first time this connection is going to happen takes sometimes a while. Now it's very fast here. And the widgets are being loaded here. Let's go to the service cockpit tab, and here we have a dashboard, and it is working. As we can see here, it's being initialized. It takes a while. Now it gets the data directly from the B1 integration components from the Business One database we are currently logged on, and it's real live data. And with this we can really work interactively. So let's load the other widgets to have more space to see the full picture. And here you can see that you can change the time axis here, for example, and yeah, it's a very interactive part. With this we are at the end. You see it's not a big deal to install the dashboard and the integration components and get it to work, and yeah, I wish you success with installing it, and very much fun and usage with the integration components.